Morning students, as we have discussed about the nutrition in plants in the last lecture, today we are going to discuss about the difference between the autotroph and heterotroph. Autotroph make their own food, but heterotroph cannot make their own food. They have to depend on others for their food. Now we can give the examples of autotroph, that is the plant make their own food with the help of photosynthesis process. We have already discussed about the photosynthesis process and their factors responsible in the last lecture, and now we are discussing about the other examples of autotroph. One is the plant, second is protist, and third one is the bacteria. And heterotroph, the most common example is animals. Animals have to depend on others for their food. On others means they have to depend on plants for their food. So the plants are the producers, means they produce their own food. But the animals are consumers, means they consume, means whatever made by the plants, they consume them. And other example of heterotroph is fungus, bacteria. Clear? This is very important to remember the difference between autotroph and heterotroph. As we have discussed about the photosynthesis process, so we should know the importance of that process. So the importance of the photosynthesis process is, number one, it provides food to the animals. Here one question arises is, what kind of food it provides to the animals? It provides the carbohydrate food and the starch food in the stored form. This is also very important to know the difference between at what time carbohydrate is formed and what time starch is formed. Please note down in your notebook. The second importance of photosynthesis process is it provides the oxygen gas to the atmosphere. As we are inhaling the oxygen gas, so oxygen gas is important for animals for their survival. So this is the importance of the photosynthesis process. So we have covered the topic, the mode of nutrition, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and the processes which are responsible for making food in mode of nutrition. Now come to the other topic, that is the other modes of nutrition in plants. Apart from the autotrophic and mode of nutrition in plants, there are other modes of nutrition, means how plants there make their own food, not only by photosynthesis but by the other ways. So other modes is, number one is parasitic mode of nutrition, second one is the insectivorous mode of nutrition, third one is saprotroph, fourth one is symbiotic relationship. Clear? Now come to the first one, parasitic mode of nutrition. This mode of nutrition take place in the parasitic plants. Now the question is, what are parasitic plants? The parasitic plants are those plants which do not have chlorophyll, means they cannot prepare their own food. Why they cannot prepare their own food? Because the four factors that necessary for the photosynthesis process, it has only three factors. The fourth factor, chlorophyll, is absent. So the process of photosynthesis will not be completed and they cannot make their own food. So they have to depend on other plants for their food. The other plants are known as the host. Example we take in our daily life is, suppose I am the host. I am organizing a party in our home. I am inviting all of you students to come at my home. So I am the host. I am giving you food. You all have to come to the party. You need not to make their food. So the parasitic plant example is the amarbel. Amarbel scientific name is Cuscuta. Clear? So this is about the parasitic plants. You can see also the diagram in the slide that is given in the PDF, that these parasitic plants depend on the other plants. Clear? So you have to know the difference between host and the parasite. Host is that give the food. Parasite is that depend on that host. Clear? Now come to the other mode of nutrition, that is the insectivorous plants. As the name indicate, those plants which feed on insects are known as the insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants eats the insect. Means, what is the food for the insectivorous plants? Insects. One of the common example is the pitcher plant. Pitcher plant, this plant is found in large amount in the Meghalaya region. You can see in the slide that the pitcher plant is having the shape of a pot having a small lid or having a small cover on it. Means, as the leaf of the pitcher plant is converted or modified into a pitcher, 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 means that is the क्या है, on pot shape, and lid can be closed and open. Means this pitcher or pot door can be open or closed with the help of lid. When any of the insect enter the pitcher, lid closed. And now the question is, if the lid closed, how the pitcher plant digests this insect? Because this pitcher plant have the digestive juice. Digestive juice means those juice which can digest the insects. Means this juice having the enzyme which can digest the body of the insects. Clear? So insectivorous plants are those plants which feed on insects. The most common example is pitcher plant. Third question here arises is how they can digest the insects. The answer is with the help of the digestive juice that are produced inside the body of the pitcher plant. Clear? Now the third other mode of nutrition is saprotroph. Saprotroph is a combination of two words, sapro plus troph. Sapro means that depend on the dead organic matter and troph means the food. So saprotroph means they are those plants which do not have chlorophyll and cannot prepare their own food. Now the question is, how will they get their food? They get their food from dead and decaying organic matter. The most common example for the saprotroph is fungus. And in the fungus, we can learn about mushroom. Mushroom that we eat in our daily life is actually a fungus. Some fungus are edible, means we can eat, but some fungus are not edible, means we cannot eat. They are even toxic. Other example of the saprotroph is bread mold. You can take one bread and you can also grow the fungus in your home. Next question here arises is how they convert or digest the food. They produce digestive juice on the dead and decaying organic matter and convert it into a solution and absorb the nutrient from the solution. Okay, so this is about the saprotroph. Now I am concluding the today lecture that what we have learned today. First is we have learnt about the difference between autotroph and heterotroph. Second is importance of photosynthesis. Third is other modes of nutrition. There are 4 other modes of nutrition, but in today's class we have learnt only about 3 modes of nutrition. One is parasitic mode, second is insectivorous plants, third one is saprotroph. The rest symbiotic relationship we will discuss in the next class. So students, please read the topic